This is the Lydia and Spin with Lydia Lunch and Tim Dahl. Happy New Year, Tim.
Happy, well, we're not there yet. I guess we're there in
Well, we
Europe.
will be by the time this goes out.
Yes, and it is there in Europe right now. Not for us yet, but who gives a fuck? Let's be honest. New Year's is dumb. I mean, everyone's New Year's is their birthday, and I don't know. What do you think of? I do like some collective experiences, but there's like three, two, one, yay! What do you think
No,
of
I don't like it at all. I
Yeah,
don't leave the
that's so
house.
stupid.
I don't leave the house on most holidays because I'd rather celebrate basically alone, preferable. Celebrating every day of my freaking life. I don't need a specially designed holiday to send
Right,
off fireworks in my
exactly.
reality.
We,
But
we had
speaking about, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
Well, speaking of fireworks, we had I think some pillheads in South Brooklyn here last night that I don't know. I think they just didn't know what day it was because just like right at midnight on the 30th, going to 31st, they're going nuts on fireworks. Like, but right at midnight, so I think something happened where they confused which day. I don't know what, but at least I want to
Now,
believe that, so I can just hope that
speaking
there's
about
some.
fireworks, I got a
Yes.
little couple of quiz questions for you because I know you're an expert at
Oh no.
most things.
This year has been a little. My average batting average hasn't been as good this year, but go ahead.
No, it has not been bad. So, all right, Timothy, yourself excluded.
Okay.
What is the loudest animal in the world?
I I know. I think you told. All right, hold on. So my hunch is, and I know this is wrong. It's some kind of whale, like a sperm whale, but in reality, it's a shrimp. That's right. It's a
All
shrimp.
right, I gave you a little clue, but it is a 2 centimeter long tiger shrimp,
Yeah.
and it snaps its claws so quickly that it creates a sonic bubble blast that's louder than the Concorde sonic boom. And the boom can reach 230 decibels, and the imploding bubbles create temperature nearly as hot as the sun. What the hell?
Yeah. It's the ocean is pretty
All
amazing.
right, okay, sticking to all things small. The
Okay.
claws of this creature
Oh boy.
can accelerate as quickly as a 22 caliber bullet, and scientists must keep them in thick plastic tanks because their punches, they must have been training with me with the throw punch, can
Oh,
break glass.
the mantis, right? The
2 out of 2, Timothy. You're batting a hundo. All right.
okay.
Largest mammal.
Okay.
I have a bad joke for that. I'm going to keep it to myself.
The blue whale.
North America.
In where?
Largest mammal in North America.
You mean terrestrial, like not aquatic.
No, not aquatic.
Not aquatic. In North America. Let me think. Is a frozen woolly mammoth count? We found that thing. All right, hold on. Let me fucking think.
This is about creatures big and small. We're talking about the here and now. Come on.
In North America, it must be the buffalo.
Yes, again.
Okay.
Okay, how much does a buffalo weigh?
A male full-grown buffalo weighs 4,000 pounds.
Well, that's only if he's eating at McDonald's every day. No,
2,000.
You're right. Again,
Well,
all right, you got that's 2.5.
well. The thing is, I mean, my brain is so distorted by the fact that hippos weigh up to 10,000 pounds, and I'm just throws everything off just knowing that.
One day there will be an intro on hippos only.
Oh,
We've had that conversation.
I know my phone is spying, eavesdropping on me because every time I flick through social media, I know there's just hippo videos like galore every time, like ripping apart a lion, ripping apart a crocodile, just destroying everything.
All right, next to me, what is the most widespread carnivorous mammal on Earth? On Earth. This is a tricky one.
Well, what do you mean by widespread? You mean like vastly populated?
Yeah.
On Earth. I mean, so are we breaking it down? Like, can I say felines, or do I have to like say a specific species?
Not a feline, but could look as cute as a cat sometimes.
Oh. I mean, dogs.
Close to a dog. Keep going.
Close to a dog. Bears.
Oh no, red fox.
Oh, red fox. Well,
I don't mean the comedian.
Red fox are canines, but it doesn't matter. I am a little confused.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
that.
they're carnivorous, but they're also canines. So I said dogs,
Right,
which is
I
very,
said
very
that if I
fast.
could. I tried to give you the snout, but you
Yeah.
didn't. You didn't.
Well, whatever. Bears and dogs do come from the same root from like way, way long ago. Doesn't matter. All right, keep on going.
Okay, it's not on the quiz, but speaking about bears, I know this one, and you probably do too. What color is a polar bear skin?
Oh, I think it's black.
You're right.
All
Oh,
right.
damn, you're good. And you are so good. That is black. Okay,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
done with you yet. Now you have a big one, Tim. But what animal?
What?
What animal has three hearts?
Three
Animal is not really the right term for it, but I mean it's a living
three
creature.
hearts.
Yeah, and its blood is blue.
Ooh. All right. Octopus.
Correct.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Bingo.
Whoa! All
You
right.
I can't trick you. All right.
Oh, all right.
You might know this because even though we both have blue eyes,
Yes.
they don't change in the winter. Ours are just blue all the time
Right.
to help them see at lower lights. And by the way, usually they're golden colored. They're guys in the summer, and no other mammal has this ability. So what animal has the ability to
Eyes
change
change.
into blue-eyed devils like ourselves?
It's a mammal. Ooh.
I said an animal. I didn't say a mammal.
Oh, so all right.
It's not a fish.
Iguana.
No. No, that would be a good one because they can. No, it's not a lizard.
Um.
Let me go back to the clue. No, hang on. The clue is their eyes turn blue in winter, so that they could see in low light.
Owl.
How about the reindeer?
Oh, all right. That makes sense. And
all right, now Timothy, I know occasionally you
did not know that though. Good to know, actually.
Well, that's one you got wrong.
No, I also information. I got something out of it. I had no idea their eyes changed colors.
I got another lesson to teach you there, son.
Okay.
Now I know that you've occasionally taught base lessons.
Yes, I have.
To other humans.
Correct.
But did you know that there is actually a mammal with the proven ability to not only keep a beat, but scientists have trained a female one to pass it on to their offspring, even with a different beat that she had not heard before.
I mean,
and this animal seems like it would be dumb and cuddly, not furry. Quite the size of an opera singer.
Fucking manatee? I don't know what the fuck you're going at.
No, but I mean, the thing is, they didn't tell us what kind of a beat. A sea lion.
Oh, I was close. A manatee is, sea lions I think are smarter, but whatever.
Well, I haven't checked its IQ lately. Okay,
well, when I lived in Florida, I go kayaking, and then all of a sudden you get the smell and see these bubbles going up. They'd have different types of beats. The manatee would be going underneath you and passing gas, and it'd be like going underneath your kayak and be like, "Geez,
bubblicious."
Yeah, it was just. I didn't know there's a jacuzzi out here.
Good thing for you, and you got to know this one.
Oh,
good thing your smell, human smell. Ooh. There is an animal whose sense of smell is 100,000 times stronger than a human, but their taste buds are 1/6 as strong. But come on, this.
Well, that's a complicated point because they're connected. But yes, 1/6. I mean, that's salt and sugar is basically taste buds, and everything else is nose.
Well, you usually think they'll eat anything.
So bears are the great smellers. But
you know what? They don't search for cadavers, do they? Well, unless they're really hungry. Cadaver.
Dogs.
What?
Like German Shepherd.
Correct. Okay, it doesn't. They didn't tell me a specific breed.
All right. I mean, yes.
Tim, you did Stella. See, the World or Farmer's Almanac in your bathroom proves that you do know everything.
Well, the gorilla has its dominant senses. I just looked it up today. I was just curious. It's like humans. It's eyesight and smell. Our smell is dominant over our hearing because it's so connected with memory. And so when people are like, "Oh, I lost my sense of smell," that's pretty major. Of course, we have an infrastructure.
I'm going to ask myself this question because I forgot to write it down and I can't remember it. There is a certain animal that has rectangular pupils, but I'm going to have to go back.
What's that?
I can't remember. You'll have to look it up. But all right, you got to get this one. This is pretty easy.
Okay.
What, say, if you had a 2 inch rope, 2 inch thick rope of this, that could stop a Boeing 747? It is stronger than steel and thinner. Now, come on, now I'm getting away than a human hair.
Silk.
By
Silk by silkworms or spiders.
Yes, of course. The spider silk.
Well, it's funny you say that because
I can't flub you.
Well, I was checking out the fun stories in science this year, and one was the artificial spider was made, and they got it to produce silk.
Oh, that would be very, very important.
Yeah. It's for military stuff. I don't know. Okay, I mean, another fun animal fact: whales that live long enough to experience menopause live on average 40 years longer than the other whales, because the scientists are saying that with certain mammals, the evolution of the female, but whatever mammal it is, menopause and it living longer is basically the evolution of them, just the species living longer. So you have a female figure living, long enough to be able to take care of all the offspring. So the menopause is actually evolution. It's just
I wish
no one's living that long before.
Right. They could evolve it right out of most women's.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you reach menopause, that's a very good sign for living longer with whales, if you're a whale by any chance.
So I found out what animal has a rectangular shape.
Please, I'm curious.
The goat.
I was
peripheral vision.
Have you seen Damascus goats before? Those are the weirdest looking things, and they're, of course, they're all they're bred because they produce more milk. Just sort of like what would be a wild dog, compared to like a bulldog. All the breeding stuff. It just looks.
Where do they create these creatures?
Well, Damascus was Syria. I think it's when it was first they started, but the ears go down like a hound dog to the ground, and they got this like scrunched, really almost deformed looking alien face. But the young ones, the young females have these kind of like batty eye, and I don't know, this is kind of sick, but they have, I think, in the UAE they have these Damascus baby goat beauty pageants. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's fucked up.
I can see it now.
So there's also another animal story.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Check it out.
Goat pageants.
Oh yeah.
Better to do.
I did not want to know about that. But
well, thank you for informing me.
They're trying to figure out a way to how to market horse ice cream to society, because they're saying horse milk, but they want to sell it in the ice cream form, because horse milk is supposed to be so much better for the gut bacteria than any kind of yogurt. It's supposed to be like really, really good for gut bacteria, and so they're trying to figure out how to kind of introduce that into society, because it kind of creeps people out a little bit. But why? I mean,
well, and you mentioned, of course, one of my favorite words, and I'm going to get to that after the next little quiz. Bacteria. I have a few stories.
Oh, sure.
I do love those unseen little fellows. All right, Tim, how many active, this is really a stumper. Now, don't think too hard. How many active volcanoes are there in America? This one surprised me.
In the USA. Can I ask a question? So it's like, is a geyser in the category of a volcano? No. I mean, because that's in volcano. All right. Shows how much I know about geology. And so what defines active? Like it erupted like 300 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it could be like 100,000, 10,000. Possibility to explode. Has exploded. Has created the landscape.
13.
Not even times 100 is going to get you there, Tim.
Well, that's not fair. I mean, I know, like, they're saying like the big one. There's supposed to be like this giant one.
There are maybe, like, you're quite right. There are maybe 13 major big ones, but there are 169 that could go off at any time. Now, where would you think those most precious and precarious.
I think mostly in the
Pretty
Rockies and the
obvious.
Rockies, West Coast, around there.
Another state that you've been to,
I mean, Washington State, California,
and
Oregon, Alaska.
and yes, of course.
Yes,
Can't
Alaska.
fool you with that. All right. Well, whatever. Shall we go into bacteria or you got something?
Let's see if I have. Oh, just a fun little story, scientific story started because they're basically like checking this guy out. Remember that nutcase that got like the COVID vaccine like 200, well, specifically 217 times? And they basically checked it. They've been studying this guy, and it turns out like, hey, everything's just completely normal.
Well, then maybe he could have just had it once and been completely normal.
Let's put it this way.
Why the hell?
He's clearly not completely normal. All right.
Why the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it makes no sense.
I mean, for all the bullshit you have to sneak around to be sneaky and commit saying that it's not allowed. I mean, why would you get the 217 vaccines? I know. Yeah, doing fake IDs and all this stuff.
Well, you know what's on the rise now all over the country is the norovirus, which is like puking and shitting for a good 2 days, and coronavirus. And, you know,
I've heard about a few people I've already heard about.
I don't know what to say about
Can't get
that.
off the toilet.
I mean, I did well not getting it so far, but I'm not sure I want to go for another shot or 217 just to
no. Another fun fact. As everyone talks about the border crisis.
The what crisis?
Quote unquote, the border crisis.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you said the burger crisis, and that's
well, you know, the Mexican drug cartel is Mexico's 5th largest employer in Mexico, number 5. And I wonder why. There's a market, and all you have to do is look north.
Exactly.
It wouldn't exist if there wasn't a market.
What are they going to do? Sell grasshoppers so that we can have it with the guacamole we're not going to be able to afford once the tariffs go into effect? Oh, come on, give me a break.
Give me a break. It's all stupid.
It's also dumb. Well, I mean, okay, speaking about dumb, I just have to say this. I don't know if you saw the latest, you know, the dumbest son, they're all dumb of Trump, but the Don Jr., who said, I don't want to go to the New Year's Eve party at Mar-a-Lago because all of the drunken people there just think I'm an imbecile. What do you mean all the drunken people there? What about all the people that aren't drunk? We all think you're a fucking imbecile. Fucking imbecile. You're admitting finally the truth. Finally, one word of truth comes out of a Trump mouth.
Well, it shows how they're so insecure. I mean, what's wrong with this guy? Oh my God. Oh, here's a really encouraging for all us musicians out there. You know who Daniel Ek is, or maybe you don't. He's the founder and CEO of Spotify. And it was announced.
No, I wouldn't know that because I try to keep all my shit off of Spotify.
Well, it was announced today that his net worth is $6.8 billion, which is more than every musician in the history of the planet has ever made combined. Yeah, I know. Ugh. You're awesome, buddy.
We need a musician called Luigi Jr.
Well, I mean, fine. He was imaginative to be rich, but like, that's kind of lame thing. Lame existence.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's face it. This past year, we've had great times in all the shows we've done together and separately, traveling the world as we do as road dogs. That's what we do. I can't believe it's 5 years on the podcast.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you toured a ton this year. I actually toured the least I have in years. Well, obviously,
I was
the COVID years.
I obviously had to go to freaking Europe 4 times, and I'm going back again in a week. So, I mean, the thing is, I know where my bread is buttered, and I don't even eat bread. I just collect them.
Well, we're going on. I did 93 shows last year, which is,
I haven't counted.
That's good, but it's not.
That's hardly. It's hardly to be sniffed.
No, 93 is a lot, but I was doing 150, 200 per second.
All right. But anyway, I mean, there was a lot of folly in the past year outside of our successes. That, you know, there are plenty of things to be a bit down about, but I tend to look forward to, and, you know, again, going back to some of my favorite subjects, fungus and bacteria.
Oh, yes, you do.
Very excited to find these articles. So, and also architecture, which, you know, is what I always profess that
you love it
into instead of music. So the niches for organic territories and bio-augmented design, it might be something I need to invest in the first time ever. at the University College in London is advancing research into microbial architecture. I am so into it. The focus lies on the important application of combating antimicrobial and antibacterial, antibiotic, all the diseases, especially in hospitals. So microbial architecture runs on a similar concept as probiotic foods. So the idea is to seed buildings and surfaces, especially like ceramic, carefully selected with microbial species that can coexist in stable communities. So they figure, as opposed to all this, smart home bullshit, by colonizing the floors, ceilings, and surfaces in homes with health supporting microbiomes, it could displace the population of infectious microorganisms that cause diseases. And it can be thought of like as an ambient health supplement that transfers into our bodies,
Okay.
just as we're going about our daily routines. And, we need something to go into our bodies that is not freaking microplastics, right? So they could filter out and metabolize pollutants, and especially, the air and polluted cities, and especially helpful. They're really researching it in the hospitals. So this microbial architecture, it's like designing a new pathway to more sustainable design and limiting the need for unhealthy, about freaking time, chemical cleaners and fossil polymer coated surfaces that have kept us safe, sick,
Yeah.
etc. And also because these microbial creatures are extremely efficient chemical producers, they don't take much and they draw energy just from their immediate surroundings. So the living bacterial communities. I am very, very excited about this. And then one more on the same topic.
Sure.
Is Susie Dye, unfortunate name, of Texas A&M AgriLife Research, is spearheading a bio-designed degradation method for soil and water to be rid of PFAs, or forever chemicals, which is another reason.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Cancer, because it's in every freaking thing, because
Yeah.
petroleum is in everything. So this bio-based PFAS treating platform could have the potential to offer a low-cost, highly sustainable approach to environmental cleanups. And we need that. We need it now. So fungus, my favorite, and post-harvest waste are two very low-impact materials. So they need very little input to grow. For instance, corn waste requires no additional resources to produce. So unlike other solutions to getting rid of these forever chemicals, it does not produce other toxic waste products during the process of treatment. And her team, that Susie Dye, found that a fungus called white rot, sounds like the political situation we're suffering from now,
Sure,
degrades PFAS at a rapid rate. And after 2 weeks, 98 to 99% are gone of the forever chemicals.
Not 98. Wow.
And so her team, back at the Texas A&M AgriLife Research. So her team developed a bio-based and low-cost matrix to house the fungus, made up of, it's so simple and so brilliant, leaves, stalks, cobs of corn, plants left in the field after harvest. And they form this porous biological structure on which the fungus, the mighty fungus, would grow. It's then seeded with nutrients to feed the fungus. So then the fungus and the bacteria eat the forever chemicals, making us safer in the near future.
So is this expensive? What's stopping?
No, because it's using really cheap things. It's using corn waste and fungus.
So why is
it's very low cost?
How come we're not just pushing this through? And it's like,
why do you think, Tim?
Well,
because there's nobody to profit from it. No. So anyway, the people that have made us all have cancer and have an expensive life, an expensive death, and expensive health care, if you can afford it, which most of us can't, don't want to see simple solutions
to
the solutions they have,
put absolutely. That was the big criticism when Bayer, the pharmaceutical company out of Germany, bought Monsanto, and Bayer basically has not a monopoly, but they're one of the big contenders with cancer treatment. Yet they bought the company that's making the cancer pesticides. So it's just like, buy it all up, look the other way.
Hand in each pocket is what I call that kind of activity.
Yeah.
The thing is, and again, back to this, uprise in colon cancer in younger people, basically because it is a generation where almost everything is changing. Look, you even go to the health food store. I don't care which one. And by the way, Whole Foods has total plastic contamination in almost everything. Hello, overpriced bullshitters.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean that you go to buy even a lettuce. So many things are either packed in
Yep.
plastic or here's a plastic bag to put it in. Hence farmers markets, paper bags, bring your bag.
What about those like certain items like in the produce that's just
Ugh.
tightly wrapped in plastic, and it's like, what? Why? Why
I
you?
mean, I guess they want to keep the pesticides in so that they can help to give us a longer life, an expensive life while we wait to die after the chemotherapy doesn't work. Just saying.
Yeah. I
Nothing
mean,
like a good attitude to keep you healthy as long as possible.
so
But
the
I mean, look, petroleum is in everything from lipstick to everything.
everything.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, and that is, our life and our death.
Yeah.
The
That
20 whatever
you have like the Bronze Age. We're the plastic age. It's kind of true. It's kind of true, right? I mean, speaking of solutions, there's a big summit at University of Chicago, and there's this whole thing about geoengineering, how to slow down global warming, and they're talking about putting sulfate aerosol in the atmosphere, and but then of course it's kind of like the Smokey the Bear campaign, where even if you succeed, you really don't know where that's going to go, and then that's what they're talking about. Like, even if it's all successful, we know such a small fragment. We know a lot of stuff. Don't get me wrong, but there's so much we don't
More
know.
every day.
But there's so much we don't know.
Daily.
And I don't know. I mean, well, the thing is, like, well, why would you want to fuck with it? You know what's going to happen. But then you can also make the argument about the industrial age. We're fucking with it. So
one pollution with another pollutant is not necessarily the answer. When that's
but here we are.
bioagricultural research, microbiomes in architecture. This is where to go. First of all, they're the oldest living things. They're non-toxic, and the mighty fungus.
I mean,
bacteria are my friends.
I mean, speaking of this, not to stick on this for too long, but it is the celebration of 2024, and this was a weather catastrophe in the history books year 2024.
Well, yeah, I thought you said a leather catastrophe.
But well, we wish. Weather catastrophe. We wish. But
it was too hot to wear leather.
Well, so the big one was all the crazy flooding, which is basically all over there were some droughts in certain parts of the world, but for the most part there would be droughts, and then this insane thing. So like United Arab Emirates got what's on average in 24 hours they got one whole annual rainfall, and the scientists are saying this is literally impossible unless this is a man-made
unless it's
weather change. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is only possible.
Well, floodings in Spain, floodings in Italy. I mean,
the carbon
in America. I mean, the disasters have been astronomical. I mean, pretty much there's one every day. We just can't report them all. So
Namibia. How do you say that? Namibia? Yeah, that's how you say it. I can never get it right. They had a terrible drought, on the other hand, and because they don't have the industrialized world infrastructure that us gated community folks have, their only solution was to round up the military and to start slaughtering all the wild animals so it didn't go into a massive famine. It's just like a feedback chamber. It really just doesn't stop. And of course,
I mean, look, with the advent of more technology and so-called progress is also the advent of more possible disasters, because we have been for hundreds of years dealing with the propagation of a technology we don't really know the result of, other than the fact we have every modern convenience at our fingertips. Hello, all petroleum based,
including political disasters. Hence, on election day in India, the average day temperature outside was 116 degrees, which had a massive impact on the voter turnout. So it's like everything. And let's see.
In spite of that, we are still two of the most freakishly optimistic people.
Sure.
I don't know how we do it, but we somehow strangely are. I guess it's because I get all my rage out on the stage. Have very little of it in my personal life at this point. And,
we find joy where we have to find it. And I even find joy in this prison tank near my studio just by the characters that keep on arriving. And that's the MDC Municipal Detention Center of Brooklyn. And we have some new arrivals. Obviously, Puff Daddy was the big one until Luigi Mangione joined him.
Have you heard about where Jiz Lane, as I call her, Maxwell, the prison she's in Tallahassee?
Yeah, she went down to Florida.
Are being starved to death. They don't have money to feed the prisoners. Oh, please, where did all the money go? Certainly not to their health care.
She was an MDC until 2020, I think. I mean, MDC is the, it's like one of these kind of like celebrity reality shows when they're low and dough kind of thing. These are, I need Austin Wolf, a gay pornographer. He's in there. He's really famous. Back to
what we were saying, Jim, which is the priority of our existence, which is you have to take pleasure where you can find it, because otherwise the enemy, they are the ever-present surround, will win, because they just force feed us not only bullshit and lies, corruption and conspiracies, pollution and cancer, but it's almost impossible to escape their ever-widening web. So the only way to really do that is to go back to who your chosen family is, have some motherfucking fun, and realize pleasure is the ultimate rebellion. And I'll just say, this is the Lydian Spin.
Happy New Year, everyone. We'll make 2025
happy every day.